Hello, good afternoon. Okay, before the class, I give a in-class assignment, so it's an exercise. So when you look at the announcement, that's what we're asking you to do. We'll we talk about some different type of attacks, the different course site. So we have like reflected and then store and then the DOM-based XSS. What you need to do, just copy my sample code and modify the original endpoint to add the security safe form. Then you can submit the source code and your result. So actually, I already give you the solution in the screen and then also some examples. What you need to do, just like follow the steps, and mainly the most easy way, you can install some like package to help you to handle it. The one I gave you is the Express. So this one Express, we will handle it like when we pass it. Before we fed it, it will mainly like showing the response directly when we try to input the content. So mainly we use the like escape method to translate the or like decode the input to make it as just a regular string instead of some statement syntax. So here I have some example. So the most easiest way you need to learn, maybe you can just like install the package. It's called XSS, and then you can use the function XSS to decrypt the message, or we have called the centralized HTTP. So you will see right here. So that's what you need to modify. If I give you the basic one, just like install it and then request it and then encrypt your content. Then you can avoid the syntax. So right here is the example. So this is another one I gave you. So either one is called the centralized HTML. That's what I mentioned in the Monday's lecture. So it's one of the package we can use. And also you can write your own program. So it's called the encrypt HTML. So this one I will replace all those special characters. There's two methods you can do to protect your endpoint, your path. Okay, just like for a demonstration, I will execute one more time so you will see the differences. Okay, let me execute one. Okay. So right here, if you look at the localhost 3000, if I didn't pass any content, then it would be like saying hello guest. So if I pass from the query, so I pass from the query, and then mainly the text through the script. So I just upload the script. So we see it pop out there. Okay, so I didn't show any content. So if I try to execute the encryption script, translate the content, and then let me start one more time. Okay, so right now you see, after I use the escape HTML, that means like I pass the original message and then replace all those special character to a string. Then you say, okay, it comes out. So we are replacing some JS script to just like plain text. If you're not calling the function, we also can use another required. It's called centralized HTML. So that one we just replace it, so it won't paste the content. It just brought it. So I will copy one more right here. I need to request it. Okay. Stop it. Okay. So right here, depends on how would you want to handle the parameters or like queries or content. So this one, if we use now function called the centralized HTML, is a package provided if you install it. And if I pass it, I won't handle this script. So it's empty. So it depends on which kind of result you want to get. You can use, okay. What you need to do, just need to implement the HTML endpoint like this. So you can add the escape HTML or request the centralize and then call the function. That's what you need to do. And remember to submit it on time. So it's just an in-class exercise. So if you have no other questions, this part, then I will start the lecture. So when we talk about the cloud computing, and we will set up the server and have a different API server database. But most of the time, we also need to deal with one thing about the migration. And we need to learn how special. So for the cloud migration strategy, so we have, like we talk about the outline. So we have different approach, different methods that the organization we're going to use to change to the cloud. And then we will evaluate the challenges and risk associated with the migration. So what are the possible potentials, the pitfalls or risk that can arise during the migration process, okay? So and then we will, if we need to develop a migration plan for legacy system, then what's the possible framework or the plans and executing the migration of the older system to the cloud? Okay, it's pretty common. Then and we always try to do migration from the old system to the new one, and how can we transit better? Okay, and the next we provide migration roadmap of factorial enterprise. So we initiate step-by-step plan. Okay, so that's what we need to know. First was the cloud migration. So it's a process like moving data, application, and other business elements like on-premises, like infrastructure to the cloud environment. That's what we need to do. And here's the reason why it takes lots of effort, because when we need to move data, if that's old system or new system, or like we need to merging the one to the new one, moving it, we are not only say 5 gigabytes, but if for enterprise, huge company, maybe it's like 10 terabyte, 20 terabyte or more than that. So it takes like much more effort for us to developer to like moving, also the applications too. Then why do we need to doing migration? So first, like the scalability. So it's easier to scale the resources up or down based on the demand. Sometimes, most of the time, maybe a company will it would be scaled up because they have very more customer needs. But however, maybe sometimes because their business change, they say they want to save the cost, then maybe yes, they need to cost down. So we try to reduce our capital like expenditures, or they convert like pay as you go model. So it depends on how much they need. This one for the cost efficiency, sometimes they realize for their business, they are not really required like paying that much to hosting on the cloud, that they want to downgrade. And then how to like access those like advanced technology, like leverage the stuff like using AI, machine learning, or data analytics. So all these things, then they're moving from one cloud to another cloud as possible, and also enhance the collaborations. So they allow the employees like facilitate with their remote work or collaboration through the like cloud-based tools. So you don't have to say, I go to the company and they open the application on their desktop, but you can access online, so it's cloud-based application. And for those like approach, which is strategy to doing the migration to the cloud. So one is called the lift and shift. Okay, so it's another name is called rehosting. So we just move the application to the cloud without changing their architecture. So for example, they are migrating a virtual machine from an premise data center to the cloud. So it's easy. So they just copy those applications. So they leave it and just shift it to them. Okay, so we don't change anything. And refactoring. Okay, so also, and then we call that repackaging. So we try to make them minimal change to optimize the application for the cloud environment, often like involving like some minor code adjustment. Maybe we are running on some local like VM and another one. But when we like shifting to the cloud, maybe because their architecture, their system itself, they are not like running exactly the same. So we need to do some minor adjustment. Okay, and then change it so let it fit to the new environment. That's what we need to do. So this one is like we call the repackaging. And the next is called the replatforming. Okay, so replatforming is modify the application itself and then to take the full advantage of cloud native feature without extensive rewriting. Let's say if we are switching from the monolithic architecture to the microservice architecture, then because we are switching the architecture, so we need to modify the application itself. If we need to rewriting from this one, it will taking lots of efforts because we need to like modify the application, like change the source code. So this one is not minor, but maybe we need to rewrite the functions, maybe apply different service, involve different cloud special feature to provide a more powerful advanced service. And then we have the purchasing. So we try to like transitioning from like on-premises like software to a cloud-based version. So such as like moving the legacy ERP to SaaS solution. It's pretty common for lots of company. They will have a ERP, the enterprise software, and they maybe some like accounting, sales, invoice, employee management. Most of the time, maybe like they hosting in their local computer, they host a server, and then running those ERP system. Okay. Once they want to like change to SaaS, like goes to cloud, then maybe they need to purchase it. And one of the steps they need to do is that maybe they need to export all their existing records and then upload it and to the new cloud services, the SaaS solution, maybe a software. Also, it takes a much loss of time. Okay, then one more is a retired. So we just identify and decommissions like outdated and or like unused application. So if we're not really using anymore, then just let them retire. So we're not using it. So it's the most easy. We don't have to copy it like backup and then change the data. Retain is a hybrid approach. So we try to keep some like critical systems on premise that we're moving others to the cloud. They're often used when the legacy system cannot like migrate easily. In reality, actually, it happens a lot. For certain because we for the company or maybe mid-size or even large, really large size, you may just say, okay, let me finish it within one night. If you're taking more than that, so maybe you are building new data, have new records. So you need to really have a good strategy and planning to say, okay, what kind of things I have to migrate or like move to the cloud first, and then what the other application I have to move later, like with the different period. And also because they need to operate like in the daily system, then how can we maintain, okay, they can function like normally. And then after they migrate, sometimes they will suffer certain, make sure if there are no data loss, and then the customer can access correctly. So retain is more important, and this one is called a hybrid approach. So we commonly use. Okay, so we talk about different type of migration approach. Then we need to evaluate like which one will be better. Okay, when we say the lift and shift is quick because we just like take it up and move to there. Done. It's a really quick migration, but it may not optimize the cloud benefit. Okay, because we just say maybe from the VM version, like copy the image and then we shift to it. But if some functions or some of the cloud features we are not like modify, then we just like execute the current. We just let our application goes online, like move to cloud, but didn't really maybe use those features like or a special function provided those cloud service. Okay, with threading, it provides better performance and efficiency, but it will be more complicated. Okay, but we got the refactoring like repackaging. So because we need to, so right here, if you still remember, we need to optimize and do an adjustment. So we need to know maybe if you are not the one or the teams that purchase the previous applications, then you need to modify. Maybe you need to study about the origin code, look at the document. So that's why it's much more like complicated. And then we performing, so we need to utilize some cloud features effectively, and also we require some like moderate investment too. That's what we need to do, and then modernize the infrastructure for the repurchasing. But we may need to like have some like staff training because some of them maybe didn't learn anything. And how can you let your developer employees to pick up those new stuff, like new feature of application, then you need to provide the training. And then with time, we can reduce the courses. It may be eliminate the essential service. So that's really have clear documents showing, okay, are they really not necessary or are they enough for your business? Okay. And then we think, so we try to ensure the critical workload remains stable, but it can complicated for the IT architecture. Therefore, we think, if you remember, now we are moving for a cloud, some of them, they cannot like migrate easily, then we need to. For all this, we need to think just like situational factor. So really depends on the business goal, and then their budget constraint, their timeline, and application dependence, all these criteria. So they will guide the choice of migration strategy. There's no like the best solution, but we are looking for a suitable, a better solution. Maybe sometimes they will have a consultation and then thinking, okay, for small companies, they just ask some like experienced employee or some like team leader and say, okay, talk about that, discuss, okay, which method is better. But for like large company, they maybe consult some technology consultants. They're thinking, okay, which way will be better, then they will taking action. Okay, that's what they're going to do. And after we look at different approach of cloud migration, and then was the evaluates those like method, then we need to think about what the possible challenge can happen in the cloud migration. One thing is about the data security and compliance. But we need to make sure that data remains like secure, like complies with the regulations and those like GDPR or XRPPA. So those standards we mentioned, keep repeating so many times, and then during or after the migration. Once you're doing the migration, because the risk is because you try to open certain source and then allow certain access, maybe you are copying or transferring through certain channel port. Then when you try transferring, is it possible that they have some like middleman attacker to scan your server during your migration or after your migration? Did you remember to close those port or like change the file permission? But when you of course like for admin or like developer working on the migration, maybe you will try to modify the I am the some like file permission, some access, like change the certain right. And if you forgot to like change to the less privilege and then change to the firewall, then it causes the issue of the data security. Okay. And then next is the downtime and service and disruption. It's really possible that there will be a risk like temporary outage that can impact the business operation during the migration. Most of the time, if you know most of the updates changing, they were doing in midnight for some company. They will set up a schedule and then they execute. But sometimes you need to let the migration, like taking action during the business hour, like in the daytime. Then maybe there's some temporary outage cost to the business. So are they allowed to do that, like have a temporary downtime? Or if no, then how can we figure out some solution? So we need to think about that. This is a challenge. And also there's some like cost of like overruns. So unexpected costs also can arise from the increased like data transfer fee, some like new license requirement or like extended project timeline or this. Overrun is possible and maybe pretty common for the like data transferring, maybe the of the limit bandwidth limitation. So especially when you're uploading to cloud, maybe you don't host the you're using a data center somewhere else, and then you need to sending like 4 terabytes, 5 terabytes, 20 terabytes. And then maybe for your Surface Pen, maybe what you subscribe, maybe only 4 terabytes per month. If you use up all these like the quota limit, then maybe you need to pay for extra fee for you to upload for the rest. Yeah, because say, okay, if I use up this month, then I need to wait for the next month because it's impossible. Once you start your migration, then you need to complete all the steps. And then for like smooth transit to a new platform. And also we have the skill gaps. You know, think when we try to transfer, do we have like skill that personnel in the cloud technology? Also, it can create a bottleneck if like existing workforce like lack of necessary skills. Of course, like when we try to migrate from one platform or like from old system to new system, do you those employee or the staff like have enough knowledge, skills to migrate everything or implement? Because if you know the approach, whether maybe retain or right here, most of the time we will do like refactoring, we perform. Sometimes we need to modify the source code or go through all the details. Then we need to think about how can we avoid the skill gaps. Okay. Also the vendors login. So this one is mainly becoming dependent on the single cloud provider, so making the future migration difficult or costly. So maybe the vendor, that's what we're not able to control. Maybe we choose their service, but they want to keep their customer. They increase the difficulty. They will lock you. So it's hard but easy. And then for the different vendors provide service, they are not really like doing the methods like locking you, like, but sometimes in alternative way they will provide different architecture, increase the difficulty for you to switch it. So it makes it really like difficult. Okay. And then the integration issue. So because the existing system or application, so we will have a like capability change of new cloud solution. Maybe the system they are working based on the pretty old version, they have really no functions. And then they use the package, maybe they already fade out. Once you install it, you're no longer use anymore. So when you need to integrate, then you cannot like use the exact same thing. So you need to change it. So it will be facing the new problems. It's a new challenge. And then data loss. So there are also with the data corruption and loss during transfer process. So if you know, like sometimes when we download a file, it's possible that we have the loss or like corruption. So we need to validate. Sometimes when you are transferring like 20 terabytes, 50 terabytes data, it's impossible that you can check all the files one by one. Maybe when you after finish migration and when some employees start to using, they realize, okay, certain file already corrupt, but you already completed migration after 1 month, 2 months. Maybe your old system already shut down and then you're no longer using anymore, then you cause a problem. So need to think maybe you have to keeping and then validate after maybe 6 months, a year, and make sure everything working fine, then you are able to shift. Okay. Otherwise, you need to keep the old legacy system. Okay. And then assess. So right now we know all this, then we talk about the planning for the migration. So from the we call the legacy system to the new cloud platform. We have the assessment phase. The assessments phase will conduct like some like thorough inventory of like current application data systems, everything to determine the cloud readiness. Okay. And then next we'll evaluate the technology landscapes and identify the legacy system that needs migration. So first in the migration and the assessment phase. Then after the assessment, we need to start to do the planning. So there's a planning phase. We need to have a clear objective for the migration. So there was a performance improvements and then cost reductions. We need to care about that, and then we need to accept that have a timeline and budget. So accounting for the resource, then need for training, potential system downtime. So all this we need to be well prepared in the planning phase. Okay, so after you evaluate and after approval of those like manager level, supervisor level, then if okay, and then when we're taking action, then we move on to execution phase. In the execution phase, we need to implement those like migration process in stage, and then starting with the less critical application, and then to minimize the risk. Also, we need to monitor the process closely for any issue to make the necessary adjustments. Yeah, so most time you are not really like copy and paste. Sometimes we are waiting so that say bot and then some programs help us to transfer the data easily or copying the application, and then export or import. And also after we finish everything, then we have the post-migration phase. So we'll conduct the testing to ensure all the application function correctly in the new environment. So we need to checking all the function, all the buttons, also the output, or maybe they show up all the content correctly. Okay. And later, after we finish, maybe we need to provide a training to users on the new system and process. Okay. So after we migrate, of course, we do most of the common after migration, we have new functions, special features, or we some layout structures modify. Because most of the employees or users, they get used to using the old system. Then after they say, okay, maybe we combine several options, putting in the one menu or hiding it somewhere else, then we need to have a training to let the user to know this new system. And right here, I will show all the different type of migration tools. Here's an example, let's say with the AWS Migration Hub, so it can centralize the tracking of the application migration across the AWS services. So it's the idea like for organization to migrate to the AWS. So it providing the visibility into the migration process, and then another cloud that shows the migrate. So itself is a tool set to discovering, assessing, also migrating applications and workloads to the Microsoft Azure. Okay. Some organization can move from their on-premises like environment or other cloud to Azure, and then they can use this for streamlines like migration process. All this cloud actually they already provide certain process like application helping you to migrate to their system, because they welcome new customer. They will help you assist to migrate. And then the one you know is like called the Google Cloud. So they will migrate for the like computer engine. So they will have automated migration of the VM, the virtual machine, and then from the premises or other cloud to Google Cloud. Okay. But you need to make sure, because sometimes the old system or like other cloud, maybe to the Google Cloud, they will study others like popular. But if some like local system running on your local host, local server, then it may be a fire challenge. Maybe they are not like 100% adapt to that. Then you need to modify. And it also helps the organization translate like existing workload to the Google Cloud with a minimal downtime. Okay. And then we have the cloud and Drupal migration. So it will continuously like replicate of application to the cloud with a minimal disruption. So here's the idea. So it's suitable for the like business needing like real-time data transfer during the migration. So especially in particular complex environment. So that's what you we discuss the problem. Sometimes you cannot let your old system, legacy system, have a downtime, and then you also like in every second, in every minute, you generate new data. Then how can we migrate and also keep the new data type when they create it, then we can do it this way. Then we have the VMware cloud. So this one, the VMware is one of the software application to create a virtual machine. So it will enable the organization to run the VMware workload on the AWS infrastructure. So the companies are looking to leverage the existing VMware environment so they can take advantage of the AWS. So if you're doing this, then you can. If you're the user, like the company using VMware running it, and you can use this application, so you can easily migrate to the AWS. And also we have the IBM Cloud Migration Service. The function is like for a CSCI service and then to assist the migration of approach data workloads to the IBM cloud. So the organization companies can use the IBM system and look into the modernize their infrastructure. So this is IBM. So this is popular. And Cloudify. So this one is the open source cloud orchestration platform that provides the automated migration and management. For actual use, for the company, they can they need a multi-cloud management solution for management application across different cloud environment. Then they can use this one because it may be possible that the company using like AWS and also Azure, and sometimes internal, then yes, they need to think about how can you manage like multiple cloud and then easier to manage those migration. And then migrate for the ethos. So this one will facilitate the migration of the workload to the Google Kubernetes engine. So they use their service. So organization, they can like transit those like containers environment, then use the Kubernetes to their Kubernetes deployment. If you still remember the Kubernetes we are building, then we have different nodes. So that's how they can use. And then more keep going, and then we have the Kubernetes migration and migrate. So we will provide the data migration and protection service for the cloud environment. So if we need to care about the data integrity, security, then we can look at this one, and then the app migration. So this one is like specialized for the application. So when we need to migrate the application, they focus on the application performance and the architecture assessment. Those like want to ensure the application they are optimized and also for the cloud environment during the migration. And this is one of the option. Okay. So we already looking for like different approach and tools. Then here will be some examples. So I'll give you 2 examples. Let's say if for a financial service firm want to adopt the like how for the regulatory like complaints. So if we need to like ensure the compliance with the new regulations and then requirements, also maintain the data security and accessibility. So what kind of like migration strategy they can apply? One of the strategy we will use is that refactoring, so that we modify the existing application to leverage the cloud security feature like encryption, access control, all this. So when they try to maintain it, and then we will apply once I retain. So they want to keep the certain sensitive application permissions, and then while they try to migrating others to go company like cloud server environment. So it would be the hybrid approach. That's we say that pretty common approach we're using for migration. So one side we can enhance the security posture, and then we can reduce the operational like costs, and we can improve the complexity reports. So that's how the things it works. And for a retail company, if they want to move to like the cloud-based inventory management, if there's a mid-sized like retail chain, So maybe they need to using like an on-premises inventory management system. Maybe if they're struggling like real-time data updates and scalability. Okay, and how can they do? First they will maybe choose the purchasing. So they will transit to cloud-based inventory management. Like let's say we have the Oracle Nexus, SAP Business by Design. So they are example they can use. And if they are like suitable, then they can choose a lift and shift. So they can migrate existing like sales report tools to the cloud to ensure like capability with the new system. If they are like certain format, they can like export it and then import it from to the new system. So it can improve the real-time inventory tracking and also reduce the downtime during the peak shopping season. Also, they can save their cost like on the hardware maintenance when you go to cloud. So you should have pay only. Okay. And here may be the example. Let's say if you need to we talk about the roadmap, like for the migration view, when we talk about we have different phase. So in the beginning, like we try to do the assessment. So if you write here, let's start with the assessment phase and then planning phase and then execution phase and then the post-migration phase. So in the real company, like right here, so let's say we have a company and then mainly like in the manufacturing industry. So right now they have a data center with the legacy ERP system. Okay, so they want to improve their operational efficiency and then reduce their IT costs and enhance their scalability to handle the frustrating demands. Maybe in the beginning we say the assessment, so they will look at all those like inventory of the current system application or the data. And then also they will try to assess their cloud like readiness and then identify what which application can be migrated. So in this maybe the first month or taking more than 3 months. So if I use 1 month, and then next will be in the second month, the month two, maybe including the around. So for the planning, so we need to choose the migration strategy. Okay, so are we applying for the lift and shift for the non-critical application? Or like are we using the hybrid approach, routine, or like are we have some service we are no longer to use to retire? Okay, so we can think about it. So we would develop a detailed project plan with a specific milestones and then responsibilities. So after finish the planning, we are ready to move on to preparations. Okay, for the preparation, then we try to ensure all those like complaints with the securities and regulation like requirements to meet everything. And then we start to like train the staff on the new cloud tools and process to facilitate a smooth transition. So maybe you can also train it because it takes some time. But once you say after I finish the migration, then I start to train the employee. It's not possible because you need to make sure once you finish the migration and your new applications that goes online, then your employee should able to know how to use them. So you have to doing in early stage. It's like try to in the preparation, then start to train your staff, employee, users, any possible user to be more familiar with the new system, the new cloud tool. Okay. So next we move on and then maybe 4 to 4 months for the execution. So we really starting the non-migration, maybe start with some like non-critical applications to test the process when they're okay. And then in the meanwhile, we will also monitor the performance and we solve any issue they are raised. Okay. After we some like basic, then some like non-critical, then we start to migrate just the critical application in the full migration stage. So such as like the ERP system, and also we try to ensure the data integrity. And then we also have some implements like which is testing phase to confirm the functionality. Okay, so here that's what we do. Maybe it takes like 1 month, and later after we finish the full migration to the cloud, the month like 7 to the 8, then we'll do the optimization. So we will keep on monitoring the system performance and then the cost of the like post migration. And also we try to optimize the application to use the cloud resources more efficiently. Sometimes when we try to migrate, we didn't really use all those cloud features, then it's a waste. Then we need to do the modify and do the optimization. These may be advantages like 1 to 2 from the month like 7 to 8. Okay, so in the stage of the post migration, and then we will have continuous improvement, maybe from the month 9 to 12. So we try to get a user feedback and make some necessary adjustment. Of course, once we transfer some of the user when they read it in actual usage, then they will have some feedback. They will tell, okay, maybe this new feature is not good enough, or if we need to modify certain functions. So we need to explore some additional cloud service or features for the future enhanced operation. Okay, that's what we need to do. So that's so far is all the needs for the cloud migration. So right here, just now recap of the cloud strategy. So right here, like shift and lifting, and we're right here. Like just remember we have the approach that we have the like lift and shifting, refactoring, and then we have the replatforming, repurchase, retire, retain. So it's right here, and then all those like the most important is that there is no actually one method. Then we need to combine also because they are data and then their application surface, the cloud, their legacy system they're doing. Maybe we need to apply different approach, different strategy. So it really depends on the their organization's needs or the actual goals they want. Then we need to choose the appropriate strategy. So sometimes a hybrid, like more than one. Yeah. And if they require more, like if their system architecture of the organization is more complicated, then we need to have a tailored like approach. So we need to emphasize like each. So all this migration journey may be unique, and then they need to have a like careful planning and execution. So that's what we need to pay attention. Sometimes that's why they need to consult professional consulting team, and then we will always like encourage on the like ongoing learning and adaptation. So for the organization, they need to stay informed about the cloud trends and continuously adapt their strategy to doing. And here so far will be the lecture of the migration. So here's the lecture part. Let me know if any question. If no, then I will check because I saw 2 students right here attached. So I just like repeat one more time. So you have the in-class assignment. So I'll give you just an exercise. So just let you to submit it, and you can copy the source code, and then once you complete, then you can upload here. So it's called with that exercise. For some time I will give you some in-class exercise. What do you need to do? You just need to finish the simple Happy.js server and able to handle the reflected XSS attack. If you know the structure, just request one more time. So because I talked about this in the beginning of the class, if you miss it, then I will show you one more time. If you know the basic structure of the Happy.js, will be like this. Okay, let's say I just take the input. Okay. We start our server and then with the default route with the get method and pass the data. So once we get the query, if you want to change it with the parameter, you can change it. So you feel free to change. Let's say I want to change it to the name, and then you can change to like param. There is it, and then change it to the name. So if yes, then I will change it to the name. So all they are possible, or you can change to post method and then get it through the payload, and all they're possible. But this one, I just return the value with the hashtag. This one is the content. Okay, then we need to prevent, because for this, when we hosting our HappyJS server in this way, or any even in other example I give you, is called the using the express. So you know, if you look at it, the syntax, they are not the same. That is a really simple express syntax right here. So we return the app and start running it. So it will just say taking the queries right here. But we also have a problem. We could have reflected, because our API server directly reflect the content. So if I try to import the script, like if this one for doing example is a script have an alert pops out. So if we didn't handle the input, then it will cause the issue. That's why sometimes we need to using the validation or passing. So either you can use a package provided by HappyJS, or like maybe or you can write your own function to handle it. This one is the example. We call it like HTML and pass the file and then change it. And we paste all those special character to the string. So this is how can we call the function. You are feel free to stay and then work on it and ask me question. I can help you to fix it. If you know, and then you're feel free to leave. Just let me know. So
thank you for explaining.
okay, yeah. So you can do it. You are feel free if you want to stay and want me to assist you to complete the exercise, yes. Or if you can just like follow my video or for my sample code, then you should able to complete this one and just submit it before the deadline. Okay.
Thank you.
That's it for the class. And do you have any questions? If not, then I will stop the sharing. And have a good one.
You too, Professor.
Okay, bye.